This is Ben Garcia. I'm the broker owner of List Realty and Hollywood Homes. And today I wanted to bring to your attention the new rules and regulations of the National Association of Realtors. You may have heard or will hear about some changes going into the real estate industry that are going to go into effect for sellers and buyers on August 17th. Now, I'm going to be dispelling some myths that have been circulating, and hopefully this gives you some clarity. So you may have heard there's some big changes coming to the real estate industry, and there's a claim out there that the 6% listing commission is going away, and that's going to result in cheaper home prices. This is just not the case at all. This case was not about the 6 being changed. It was about more that the 6% was the impression that sellers had was that it was not negotiable. Now, these rates have always been negotiable, but now the National Association of Realtors is requiring realtors to post the compensation more conspicuously and make sure that sellers are very clear that they are negotiable. Now, List Realty's always advertised negotiable listing rates according to the seller's needs, and compensation with us have always been divided between a seller's realtor and a buyer's realtor at 50-50. For instance, if you as a seller are paying 5% commission, then 2.5 would go to us and 2.5 would go to the buyer's agent. Now, we made that very clear on the listing agreements, but that section was not mandatory. It was optional to fill out how much was a brokerage going to give to the other side, the buyer's agent. As now it's a mandatory that you see it in writing in advance, so you're clear on how much the listing agent is going to be sharing commission with the other side. Now, as a home seller, you have a wide range of choices when it comes to listing your home or your roto condo. And the National Association of Realtors recent settlement basically led to these changes that are, changing the way brokers' commissions are disclosed. Now, we are no longer allowed to put this information on the MLS. This will avoid realtors looking first at how much commission they're getting prior to sending out properties to potential buyers. Now, potential buyers are going to get their searches and get all the properties irrespective of what a commission is going to be earned on the other side by a buyer's agent. Now, we highly recommend that the sellers continue to give buyers agents compensation. There is a new form that buyers agents are going to need to fill out prior to taking a buyer out. It is a compensation agreement saying that the buyer's agent will be working for X%, 2%, 3%, whatever it is, and that any shortfall, the buyer will be picking that up. The problem we foresee with that is, in a lot of cases, buyers, maybe with mortgages, and not necessarily in the case of Roto because they're high-end units, but in general, buyers are having a tough time coming up with the amount of money it takes to put down payments down. And then sometimes in inspections, some things come up and they need even more money. So we don't foresee buyers being that excited about paying commissions now when looking at properties, considering they had never had to do that before. So it's going to be a very slow learning curve. And anyway, so we still suggest that sellers continue to offer compensation so that they can get the most out of the potential sale of the property and get it in front of as many people as possible. In any event, there will be a disclosure that the buyer's agent has to make with the buyer. So the commissions will not be allowed to be put on the MLS, but they will be able to be put on our websites, our social media. List Realty has a very sophisticated website. We've already created that field. When it comes time to go show properties or make an offer, the buyer's agent can find that information. They can always call us too. So it's basically more trouble for them to do that. And then if there's some kind of situation where the seller may not want to give any compensation, buyer's agent could go to the buyer for that compensation. But again, that's in my personal opinion, after doing this 21 years, especially in Florida, that may be difficult. There are 18 states that do it that way. Only time will tell how this affects our market. The last thing we want is for there to be any more slowdown than there already is on selling the properties. Most appraisals already include the selling price of all properties, which already have the commissions built in. I don't foresee a seller saying, okay, I'm only going to offer 3% to the listing agent, and so now I'm going to lower my price by 3% and give that discount. That's just doesn't seem like what's going to happen. Sellers like yourselves are always going to want to get the most you can out of a property, but the longer a property stays on the market, the less likely you are to get the full price you're looking for. So these things are really negotiable. We'll talk about this. You can do anything you want, but the main thing is that the National Association is now trying real hard to make sure that sellers and buyers know that commissions are negotiable. There was this thought that 6% was a fixed rate. Now, List Realty, again, we've always had negotiable listing rates. Let's say you're buying a property with us. We're going to make money on the buying side too. So we offer you a discount on the listing. Let's say you're selling at or below a price that we have suggested according to our comparative market analysis. You'll get one price. If you're looking to take your time and sell above what we recommend, it's going to cost more money to market. So we would charge you another number. But so we've always had adjustable listing rates. Another important thing is in the listing agreements, there's now a mandatory disclosure of what is going to be offered to the buyer's agent. Now, the listing agreements have always had that field. List Realty has always filled those out. For any one of you buyers or sellers that have viewed a listing agreement from List Realty, you'll see that we've always filled out that section offering the compensation, and we've always done it fairly at 50-50. The problem is a lot of agents did not fill that out, and when the time came to get close to closing or getting an offer, they would offer the buyer's agent substantially less than they were taking, causing a rift and causing agents to come up with reasons why this particular property was no longer good for a particular buyer and causing havoc. So thank goodness List Realty wasn't brought in or embroiled in any of these lawsuits. Most of the major companies, you can basically name off pretty much any one of the large companies. They were all embroiled in this lawsuit because of the practices they were using. List Realty Hollywood Homes is an independent, and we've always chosen to try to do things as ethically as possible. In 21 years, we've never had one complaint. So basically, we're already set up. We've already been doing things the same way as is now mandatory. So for us, there's really no changes to speak of. But there will be new disclosures, and there is a lot of misinformation. There's the 6% is going away, prices are going to go down now, etc. I just don't see this affecting that at all, because this has nothing to do with having to reduce rates at all as far as compensation goes. We've always had discounted rates, by the way, so again, we're not really affected by that. But I did want to get out in front of that in case you hear anything on the news that you have any questions about. Please don't hesitate to contact myself, 954-868-5233. You can call or text me. In any event, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to our presentation. And please, anything you hear out there that doesn't sound right, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you answer any questions. Thank you so much and have a great day.